Every warning video on this channel covers something Australians need to avoid. Today is different. We have spent several videos documenting the collapse of 5 Japanese brands simultaneously in Australia. Nissan down 32%, Suzuki down 32.5%, Mitsubishi down 22.9%, Subaru down 22.4%, Lexus down 15.6%. We have covered discontinued models, axed lineups, failed mergers, and factory closures. If you have watched those videos, you know which Japanese brands are in trouble. This video answers the question those videos should have left you asking. If most Japanese brands are in trouble, which specific Japanese cars still make genuine sense to buy in Australia in 2026? Where is the Japanese engineering, reliability, and resale strength that earned these brands their reputation? And which vehicles still deliver it, backed by current data? 5 cars, all Japanese, all supported by specific Australian resale data, manufacturer investment, and NVES positioning. Not every Japanese car is worth buying right now. These 5 are, and we are going to tell you exactly why and exactly what you should pay. Before the 5 cars, the 3 criteria we applied, because not every reliable Japanese car qualifies in 2026. First, resale data. Backed by Canstar's Redbook analysis and current car sales listing prices, not opinion. The car must retain value meaningfully above the Australian SUV and car average. Second, manufacturer support. The brand behind the car must be actively investing in it. New models arriving, service network intact, marketing budget behind it. Not retreating, axing variants, or mid-turnaround after a financial crisis. Third, NVES positioning. The vehicle must either earn NVES credits for its manufacturer or be insulated from the regulatory pressure that is making petrol-only alternatives more expensive to produce and less attractive to buy. In a market where the new vehicle efficiency standard is reshaping every purchase, a car whose regulatory future is uncertain is a car whose resale trajectory is uncertain. 5 Japanese cars pass all 3. Here they are, in order from most accessible to most expensive. Car 1. The Toyota Corolla Hybrid. The most accessible Japanese car on this list, and the one that passes all 3 criteria most convincingly at its price point. Toyota axed the petrol Corolla in Australia from 2023. It is hybrid only now, and that decision was driven precisely by NVES logic. The Corolla Hybrid contributes to Toyota's 2.89 million NVES credit bank from 2025, earned across its hybrid-heavy Australian fleet. Toyota is financially motivated to keep the Corolla Hybrid priced competitively and well supported at dealer level. Cars whose manufacturers earn NVES credits from selling them do not get quietly discontinued. Reliability data is about as clean as any vehicle in Australia. Carbarn Australia's 2026 longevity analysis describes the Corolla as the king of reliability in Australia. Outstanding fuel economy, incredibly low maintenance costs, and high resale value, with later models from 2018 onwards adding autonomous emergency braking and adaptive cruise control. For a used buyer, the 2020 to 2023 Corolla Hybrid appearing on car sales now is a vehicle whose manufacturer is still actively selling the new version, still investing in the service network, and still generating NVES credits from every new example. You are not buying an orphaned model. You are buying the entry-level car from the brand with the strongest position in Australia's current market, supported by regulation, backed by resale data, and available at a price point that makes sense. Car 2, the Mazda CX-5. And this is the one pick on this list that requires an honest caveat, because we have covered Mazda's NVES challenges on this channel and the complete picture matters. First, what the CX-5 gets right. Cars24.com.au's 2026 Australian brand analysis describes Mazda as blending sharp styling, engaging driving dynamics, and premium-like interiors at accessible price points. consistently popular among private buyers seeking a refined alternative. The CX-5 is one of the most thoroughly proven SUV platforms in the Australian market, combining strong reliability from Mazda's Skyactiv engines, an excellent interior quality to price ratio, and resale values that consistently sit above average for the mid-size SUV segment. Carbarn Australia's used car longevity list puts the CX-5 alongside the Corolla as one of Australia's most recommended used purchases. Not for excitement, but for cost-effective, stress-free ownership.
The honest caveat: Mazda faces the largest NVES fine of any brand in Australia, $25,400,000 in the first measurement period. The CX-5 is petrol only and is a significant contributor to that exposure. Mazda does not yet have a hybrid CX-5 in Australia. This creates genuine medium-term pricing pressure on a new CX-5 as Mazda's NVES costs build into the vehicle's price. For a used buyer purchasing a 2022 or 2023 CX-5 now and planning to sell in 2 to 3 years, the resale strength is real and the reliability record is real. For a buyer buying new in 2026 and planning to hold for 5 to 7 years, the NVES trajectory on petrol variants is worth factoring into the total cost calculation. The CX-5 still passes all 3 criteria. The resale data is clear, the manufacturer is invested in the model, and it is not directly exposed to the same brand collapse affecting Nissan, Suzuki, and Mitsubishi. But it carries more regulatory uncertainty than the hybrid-based picks beside it on this list.
This channel publishes new research every week on what is actually happening in the Australian car market. Subscribe now. Every video we publish could save you thousands of dollars.
Car 3, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. The benchmark on this channel in every video we have ever published, and the car that earns that position in the data every single time we check. Canstar's 2025 Redbook analysis shows the RAV4 Hybrid retaining 81 to 84% of its value at 3 years, 24 percentage points above the Australian SUV average of 57%. On a $50,000 purchase, that gap represents more than $12,000 of protected value compared to the average SUV. It is not a small rounding error. It is a structural financial advantage that compounds over the ownership period. The 6th generation RAV4 Hybrid arrived in Australian showrooms in March 2026 to an order bank of close to 10,000 waiting buyers, people who had committed to purchasing before the car had physically arrived. That is not a vehicle the market is uncertain about. That is a vehicle the market wants badly enough to pre-order. By April 2026, the RAV4 had returned to the top of Australia's monthly sales chart within weeks of deliveries beginning.
Toyota earned 2.89 million NVES credits in 2025, with the RAV4 Hybrid a significant pillar of that result. The regulatory environment actively supports this vehicle's presence in the Australian market. The manufacturer is financially motivated to keep pricing it competitively. The resale data is the strongest of any vehicle on this list, and the service network, the largest of any manufacturer in Australia, means parts and maintenance support in every city, regional town, and remote area in the country.
For the buyer who can stretch to the RAV4 Hybrid,
this is the most thoroughly supported purchase available in the Australian used or new car market in 2026, Japanese or otherwise.
Car 4, the Toyota HiLux. The only ute on this list and the only vehicle here that earns its place specifically for the tradie, the fleet buyer, and the buyer who needs genuine working capability rather than a family SUV. The Knightley's September 2025 Australian resale analysis showed the HiLux retaining 85% of its value at 2 years, the strongest resale of any mainstream ute in the country. Car Sorted's June 2026 analysis confirms approximately 63% at 5 years, still the ute segment benchmark. Dealers compete for used HiLux examples at auction in a way they do not compete for used Ranger or D-Max examples.
That dealer competition for used stock is the clearest possible signal of genuine market demand. The new 9th generation HiLux launched in late 2025. Like the RAV4, it went through a ramp-up period that temporarily made the sales data look worse than the underlying demand warranted. A supply issue, not a buyer rejection issue. As with the RAV4, deliveries are now recovering month by month.
Car 5, the Toyota LandCruiser 300 series. And this is the one pick on the list with a price tag that immediately narrows the audience. But for buyers who can reach it, it may be the single most financially rational vehicle purchase available in Australia in 2026. Canstar's resale data shows the LandCruiser retaining 88% of its value at 2 years. Stronger than the RAV4 Hybrid, stronger than the HiLux, stronger than virtually anything else in the Australian market. Demand for the LandCruiser 300 series has consistently outrun supply since the model's launch. That supply constraint, which frustrates buyers trying to purchase one new, is also what protects the value of every LandCruiser already on the road. When buyers cannot get one new at any price, they pay close to new money for a used one instead. The LandCruiser is the only vehicle on this list whose resale strength is reinforced by supply scarcity rather than just brand trust. A used LandCruiser 300 with genuine service history is an asset that dealers actively seek out and buyers compete for. A dynamic that is not replicated by any other vehicle in the Australian market at any price point. The NVES caveat is the same as the HiLux. The 300 series diesel generates compliance pressure for Toyota, offset by the brand's hybrid fleet credits. For a buyer purchasing new at $97,000+ and planning to sell in 5 years, the resale data says you will lose less money on this vehicle than almost anything else you could buy at a similar price point. That is a counterintuitive outcome at that price level, but the Canstar data supports it clearly. 5 Japanese cars. One principle across all of them. The Japanese car market in Australia in 2026 is not uniformly strong or uniformly weak. It is divided, sharply, between the brands and models that have the manufacturer investment, resale support, dealer network depth, and NVES positioning to justify buyer confidence, and those that do not. The Toyota Corolla Hybrid, the most accessible entry point, hybrid-only, NVES credit owner, built on the most reliable passenger car platform in Australian automotive history. From $35,563. The Mazda CX-5, the best non-Toyota Japanese option for buyers who want driving quality and premium interior feel at a mid-size SUV price. With an honest NVES caveat on the petrol-only lineup that a serious buyer should factor into a longer hold period. The Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, 81 to 84% retained value, 2.89 million NVES credits, 10,000 unit order bank on the new model, and the most thoroughly supported purchase in the Australian market. The benchmark, unchanged. The Toyota HiLux, 85% retained at 2 years, the strongest ute resale in Australia, the 9th generation now in ramp-up. The only vehicle here for the buyer who needs a working ute rather than a family SUV. The Toyota LandCruiser 300 series, 88% retained at 2 years, demand still exceeding supply. The benchmark's benchmark for serious buyers at the premium end of the market. Subscribe now. Every week, we track what is actually worth buying in the Australian car market, backed by data, not brand loyalty.